In today's video, we're going to be discussing how you can retire early from real estate investing. My name is Preston, and we're going to be here to talk about all things related to real estate investing, personal finance, and entrepreneurship. We have a portfolio of 50 plus rental units. We do flips, we do wholesales, we also own an assisted living facility. We've been in your shoes and we know how overwhelming getting into investing can be. That's why we created this channel to help you achieve financial freedom. We're going to be sharing all the successes along with the mistakes that we make and all the things that we continue to learn every single day. If you want to achieve financial freedom, make sure to give this video a like and make sure that you're subscribed. We're going to be coming out with 2 to 3 videos every single week. Make sure to follow us on our socials. We post there daily. Each step is super important if you want to retire early, so make sure that you watch the entire video. I'm also going to be discussing the most important step to accelerate this entire process, so make sure you stay till the end. What I'll be discussing today is everything that we've done personally. This isn't just some hypothetical advice that we haven't used ourselves. This process is going to take some time, but if you stick with the process, I promise you're going to get there eventually. Being retired has become such a buzzword on social media, and people claim to be retired, but they're working 50, 60, 70 hours a week. Now, quick disclaimer, I'm not retired. Could I be retired if I wanted to be? Yes. I've gotten to the point where my passive income has exceeded my expenses. For me personally, I don't think I could ever retire. I have big goals for myself, and I'm constantly striving to become better every single day. While laying on a beach and chilling sounds nice for about a week, I know I drive myself crazy if that was my life 24/7. But I know that there are people out there that do want that lifestyle to do whatever they want. So this video is going to give you that option to retire if you want to. At the end of the day, that's what we're all striving for, is to have that financial freedom and also the time freedom. Now, there are different levels to become financially free. So let me talk about those. Level 1 is being able to cover all your expenses. Now, we're not accounting for your Lamborghini payment or your private jets. This is to cover all your necessary expenses like your mortgage, your car payment, utilities, your food, etc. Depending on how retired you want to be, you need to understand which discretionary expenses are necessary, such as entertainment, going on vacations, shopping for clothes, etc. Let's say your total monthly expenses comes out to $4,000. If you want to retire after you hit that $4,000 per month threshold, a lot of people are more than happy to retire with that. You won't be able to live a crazy lifestyle, but for some people, they're completely content getting to this level and calling it good. The next level is where you're at level 1, but instead of making $4,000 per month passively, you're now getting to close to $10,000 per month. Then you can get to the next level, which is around $20,000, and so on and so forth. It's really up to you as to how much you're willing to sacrifice to get to which financial freedom number you want to get to. So once you determine which level of financial freedom you want to get to, we need to talk about the dreaded topic, expenses. If you want to get to your financial freedom number, you need to know what's leaving your bank account each month. It can be a pain tracking your expenses, but if you don't know how much you're spending each month, you won't know how much you need to make in order to retire. I like to use Personal Capital. It's a free and easy to use app that allows you to track your expenses. I'll link it in the description below. If you take this method, it's going to take a couple of months to truly understand what your expenses are. If you don't want to wait that long, you can always get out a pen and paper or use Excel to track all your expenses. Now, this is really important. You need to be honest with yourself when you're tracking your expenses. What I mean by that is we all have our necessary expenses that are non-negotiable. Sure, our mortgage payment could be less, but for the most part, we all need a place to live. The discretionary expenses is what usually limits people from getting to that financial freedom number. We only get one life, so it's fine to splurge every once in a while, but if you're trying to retire early, you're going to need to make some sacrifices. Be honest with yourself on what you're willing and not willing to give up. So after you've tracked all your expenses, it's now time to understand how to get there. The strategy that we use and we like the best is through rental properties. We're going to be releasing a video later on why we love real estate investing, so make sure that you're subscribed for that. It's obviously going to depend on your situation, but the method that we like the best for most people is house hacking. Now, what is house hacking? It's where you live in one of the units and then rent out the rest. The best thing about house hacking is you can buy up to a 4-unit property with just 3 to 5% down instead of putting 20% down on an investment property. So this obviously takes money to get started, and you're going to need to save up more depending on where you live. If you need to cut back on vacations or wait to buy that car you've always wanted, I'm here to tell you it's worth it. There's a quote that reminds me of this. If you live like no one else will now, you can live a life later that no one else can. With interest rates so low, it's never been a better time to house hack. After living in one of the units for 12 to 24 months, you can move out and rent out the rest of the units and produce even more cash flow. If you purchase the property correctly, you can live there rent-free and save up money while living there to purchase your next property. Plus, if you buy a property soon, you're going to be able to lock in a historically low interest rate. So here are the actual numbers of the fourplex that I bought and how you can do this as well. The purchase price was $380,000. I put 5% down for $19,000. The loan amount came out to $361,000. The interest rate that I got was 4.5%. With mortgage, taxes, and insurance, including PMI, which is also private mortgage insurance, came out to $2,300. I set aside repairs, capex, and vacancy, roughly $300. I was renting out each unit for $975. The total revenue that I was getting was $29.25, and I was cash flowing $325 a month to live in one of the units. I was looking for a property that was undervalued but also needed some work. This property met the criteria that I was looking for. If you need a step-by-step guide on how to buy your first rental property or any property, we created a video just for that. I'm going to link that in the description. After 1 year, we moved out of that property and we rented out the unit that we were living in, and these were the new numbers. We put about $15,000 into renovations, so all into the property we're in at $414,000. We got a new appraisal because we wanted to do a cash out refinance. So we went to a local credit union and they were able to give us 85% of the new loan value, which came out to $446,250. So the new loan, $446,250 minus the old loan plus the down payment and the renovation costs were $414,000, which means we were able to pull out $32,250 tax-free. The new loan amount was $446,250 at a 3% interest rate. So the new loan amount was $446,250 and interest rates had dropped a ton, so we got a 3% interest rate. The mortgage, taxes, and insurance, including PMI, came out to $2,400. Repairs, capex, vacancy stayed the same at $300. We also were able to raise the rents to $1,000 per unit, so the new total revenue was $4,000 per month. So with all 4 units rented out, our new cash flow was $1,300 per month. Now you might be thinking, sweet, I'm just going to owner occupy all these rentals, move out after a year, and just do this over and over again until I'm a millionaire. Now before you get ahead of yourself, you can only do this owner occupied house hack a maximum of 2 to 3 times. Lenders will eventually start catching on and they won't lend to you anymore, so make sure that you're aware of this. If you're able to do this exact same thing that I did, you're gonna get pretty dang close to that financial freedom number of $4,000 per month. This can take up to 5 to 10 years depending on how much you're willing to sacrifice and save. The good news is the more properties that you hold on to, the more of a compounding effect that it's gonna have. You can scale a lot quicker the more rental properties that you buy and continue adding more passive income. Once you get to a point that you have 3 to 5 rental properties, you can do what's called the Snowball Method. So how this method works is that you take all the cash flow from all your properties and you target one of the properties in your portfolio with the smallest loan balance. Once that property is free and clear, use that cash flow plus the other rentals cash flow and pay off the second smallest loan balance. Repeat this process over and over again until you have all your properties paid off. So you're essentially paying off one of those properties with all the cash flow from your other properties as fast as possible. Let's take my fourplex for example at $1,300 per month. That $4,000 in gross revenue turns into $4,000 in pure cash flow. Now quick caveat, you're still gonna have to pay maintenance and your property taxes. It's not all pure cash flow, but it's pretty dang close to it. So you're gonna take that free and clear cash flow plus the cash flow from your other rental units. You're gonna target the next property in your portfolio and you're gonna pay off that loan balance as quickly as possible. And then you do that for the next and the next. That's why it's called the Snowball Method. Let's say you just have 3 properties paid off. Your cash flow can exceed well over $10,000 per month on just 3 properties. Some will argue that your return on equity is going to be a lot less than if you leverage that property. While true, it really depends on where you're at in your investing journey. Some people would rather have the peace of mind of having a paid off property, which is totally fine. The hardest first step is that first property, but it gets much easier to accumulate more properties after that first one. Trust me, I've been there. You can realistically do this in 5 to 7 years, depending on how disciplined you are, saving your money and reinvesting those funds. Now you can go retire, travel the world, and do whatever you want. This method surely beats working a 9 to 5 for 40 plus years and hopefully having enough to retire. Now, if you made it this far in the video, we know that you're serious about taking your financial freedom into your own hands and trying to retire early. And if you're just starting out, we know how scary of an endeavor that this can be. We're going to provide as much free value to you as possible through these videos. Financial freedom really isn't as far away as you might think. You just need a tried and true blueprint to get you there. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.